Live from the studio at Hauppauge High School, it's the Early Bird with your host Jeff and today's special guest, Miss Griffin.
And good morning, Hauppauge, and welcome to the Early Bird. All right, Student Council has started holding virtual meetings. Please join with Google Meet named StuCo 2020. All students are welcome. Remember to join our Student Council classroom with code DAKINFR. Repeat, DAKINFR. Stay tuned for more meetings. And now we're going to go to sports with D-Boy. Take it away.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate that. So starting it off in the NFL, last week both New York teams lost, both the Jets and the Giants. The Seahawks, they beat the Vikings with a last-minute touchdown by Russell Wilson. And then the Saints won in overtime over the Chargers, and the Miami Dolphins upset the 49ers. And now in the MLB, the Dodgers are down 1-2 in the series to the Braves, and the Tampa Bay Rays are beating the Astros right now 3-1 in the series. Both should end over this weekend. Back to you, Jeffrey.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest today, the one and only legendary person herself, Mrs. Griffin.
Thank you, Jeffrey. What an introduction.
Yes, very nice to have you here this morning.
Nice to be here.
All right, so most people might know, and maybe some people don't, but you run a program here in Hauppauge called Natural Helpers. So could you explain to us a little bit what Natural Helpers is?
Sure. So Natural Helpers is a program that's been in existence in Hauppauge for about 23 years now. It basically identifies that the idea that a student would go speak to a student before they would probably come to an adult with a problem. And so our hope is if we can identify students in different peer groups, we can provide them with more support and training so that they're better equipped to help their friends when they have a problem.
That sounds great. So how are students selected to become natural helpers?
So while this year is a little different with everything going on, our usual procedure is that we send out a survey to the entire student body, and we ask everybody to nominate 2 people that they would go to if they had a problem. And then we kind of take all of those suggestions that people have given us, and we narrow it down, and we try to identify students from different social groups, especially social groups that maybe we don't already have representation in Natural Helpers, and we invite them to be a part of our training.
Oh, great. So could you talk a little bit more about like the training process for Natural Helpers? What is it like exactly?
Sure. So different from a lot of other clubs, you have to be nominated to be a part of this one. So students who are selected are required to attend a 3-day training where we go to a place called Camp Alvernia in Centerport. And they participate in a series of different trainings on things like how to manage crisis interventions, how to find resources both within the school and outside of the school to better help their friends, how to sort of set limits for themselves so that they don't take on too much responsibility, and a lot of stuff on communication skills and that kind of stuff.
Oh, sounds like an awesome weekend. So what types of meetings and or activities do Natural Helpers partake in? Or, stuff like that, like any activities?
So our meetings right now are running on C days during that lunch block time. And it gives us an opportunity to, one, check in with students who are in the program to see if there are any kinds of situations that are coming up that maybe they're struggling with, or they need a little bit more information on how to best help their friends. And we try to meet on a weekly or biweekly basis so that we can make sure that there's nothing really that our students need that we're not aware of.
That's good, especially now, with all the circumstances this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's important. So the last question, if a student wants to connect with someone that is a natural helper, if they're going through a tough time maybe or something like that, how would they go about doing that? What is there a process they would do to, do something like that?
So I would say that, in general, we've always kind of made it clear that students are not therapists. They're not there to be in replace of like a counselor or a social worker who might be better able to support a student if they're really struggling. So it's really more of an informal program. So our hope is that if we've done a good job in selecting students, they're already in social groups. And every year we're trying to recruit new students in the hopes that we'll have people that are already trained in each social group within the high school. Obviously, if a student is struggling and really does need a person to reach out to, we would recommend that they either, ask to speak to, an adult in the building that they trust, a teacher, a guidance counselor, one of the social workers, a psychologist, and let them know that they're struggling and they need some extra support. And certainly the natural helpers who are already their friends could certainly refer them to one of those people as well.
Right. Well, I think people will find that very helpful if they are struggling with something.
I hope
Hopefully
so.
they can reach out. All right, well, Ms. Griffin, thank you very much. This has been a very informative interview. And Hauppauge, thank you as always for tuning in, and have a bedazzling day. Peace.
Bye. Thanks.